God. Good morning. In this video, I want to cover everything you have to know about this method and why I came up with it and why it's something I'm actually talking about these days, why I'm sharing this with people and why I think it's worth sharing. And I honestly do think it is worth sharing, especially in these times, these days for people. I think it's just essential. It's one of the most, it's just an essential practice. And that's what I want to talk about today, and I don't want to beat around the bush too much. I want to get straight to the point, just so that you can get exactly why I've created this method and why I believe that it's actually worth sharing with people. So let me start with the first. So what is the Vital Force method? The Vital Force method is a breathing exercise. It's a sitting exercise. In fact, it's an exercise that combines many different exercises into one practice that you can do in 10 minutes and see results very quickly. And the reason I created it like this, in that it's a very short exercise, is that you can do these practices of breathing, of conscious movement and sound, and then set your mind up for meditation practice. And the reason I set it up like this is that most people I've spoken to find meditation extremely boring and they can't sit with themselves for very long. So the reason I made it like this, I've made this structure, is that the first few exercises get past the rigid cognitive mind. So it's like getting past the adult mind in a way, so that you can sit in peace and you can be at peace with yourself for just a moment. And the purpose is, for most people, they can't sit with themselves. It's extremely difficult for them to sit with themselves for even 5 minutes without having an internal war. So the reason for this practice is that they can get a taste of what it's like to be friends with their mind for only a minute. And I really believe that this is going to be transformative for a lot of people, because they'll realize that becoming friends with your mind is possible and is actually a worthwhile thing to go after. It's actually a worthwhile practice. So that's the reason I've created this method in this way. And the truth is, you don't have to copy and paste this method as it is, but I've created some guided practices that give you really a sense of what's going on, really a sense of what we're doing, not just, copy and paste. So you don't have to just follow like a parrot. You can get an idea of what we're doing and why. And truthfully, the Vital Force method is just the beginning. It is the first step in getting a taste of what inner freedom really is. So for most people in the Western world, we haven't experienced inner freedom for very long periods of time, just because of our culture, the way our culture has instilled values in us. We value things outside, and we put our belief, our faith in happiness coming from the outside. So we don't have much experience in the West with inner work and cultivating a sense of inner freedom. So this method is a very quick and powerful practice that you can see for yourself that it's possible to cultivate a sense of inner freedom, if only for a very short amount of time at the beginning, but with more practice, with more guidance from a professional, with more guidance from a professional, you can start to see a longer lasting, more dependable way of being, which is free, but from the inside. It doesn't mean you can't have lots of material things. I mean, okay, I don't want to get into that, but yeah, so that truly the Vital Force method is just the beginning of a long path, you could say. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. So yeah, the Vital Force method is a 10-minute exercise that you can do every day, and within 30 days you will start to get a sense of lasting inner freedom, and that is just the beginning. There's a whole bunch more I can share that relates to after that 30 days, but for now I really just want to share about the method. So yeah, it's a breathing exercise, it's a movement exercise, it's a vocalization exercise, it's a meditation exercise, and it is a cultivation exercise. So all of these things coming into one 10-minute practice allows you to get a taste of what inner freedom means in about 10 minutes. And if you do it every day for about 30 days, you'll get to touch inner resources that you may never have known before, and you can really expand your horizon of what happiness can actually mean to you. You can experience a vaster sense of peace in many more situations, and truly that is just the beginning. So what more to say about that? I don't know. Okay, so what the method is. So how to practice. Okay, so if you want to practice the Vital Force method properly, I would really suggest doing the guided videos that I have made. When you get a sense of what's going on, you can do it yourself. You don't have to follow any person's advice. You can just get what is going on and why we are doing things we are doing in that order. And the order is quite important, I would say, but the most important is the subtleties of the meditation practice during the end. So when we transition from the movement exercises, the breathing exercises, we come to the very still practice at the end, which is extremely important. It's not the most important, but it is extremely important that you understand what we're doing in those moments. So very briefly, I would say we are resting the mind in open awareness. So what does that mean? Resting the mind in open awareness. So we're resting our mind. We're not doing we're not giving our mind a task to do, like focus on the breath and, bring it back from thought. We are really just relaxing. If anything, we aren't doing anything, but for most people that's difficult to not actually do anything. But so what we do is resting the mind in open awareness, which means we're resting the mind in the mind in the body on the mat, and we are resting it in open awareness. So we're all familiar with awareness. Awareness is the simple capacity, the most fundamental capacity of our mind to cognize. So when we see something, that's awareness. When we know that we feel something, that's awareness. It's a very simple and amazing thing. But the truth is, when you really sit with awareness for extended periods of time, it kind of blows your mind, because it is an incredible faculty of ours. It's an amazing faculty of the mind, and it's also very liberating. So recognizing awareness and resting in awareness for an extended period of time, longer than what you're used to, is very regenerative for the brain and body. It's very good for your mind and body. Extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. So I would liken it to bringing your mind and body to a sauna. So when you rest your mind in open awareness, it's really like a spa day for the mind. So resting in open awareness is very simple, but it's also a very subtle practice. So I'll make more videos about that and tell you exactly what I mean by resting the mind in open awareness. But for now, the most important thing is that you are just resting the mind in its natural state, which is awareness, which is just that knowing faculty of the mind. So if there's sounds around you, you're just hearing the sounds as they are. If there's sensations on your body, you're just feeling the sensations as they are. And you're not making separations. You're just cognizing all the stimulus that is coming to your physical body moment by moment, okay? And you're not trying too hard. If your mind is getting lost in thought, that's fine. Just let it get lost in thought for a moment, and naturally it'll become aware. You'll become aware that you are lost in thought. So yeah, simple as that, really. It's very simple, but for a lot of people, it takes a lot of discussion to really understand what that means, because it sounds very abstract at the beginning. So that's what resting the mind and open awareness is. So truly what I would recommend is that you do the Vital Force method every single day for 10 minutes for 30 days. And yeah, that is really just the beginning, but you will see a huge change in your life. You'll see you'll experience much more clarity in your mind. You'll experience much more peace within your body. Your relationships will improve with people. If you're going through a very difficult time in your life, if you're suffering from anxiety or depression, or both, in most cases it's both, this will help you, for sure. It's guaranteed. It won't solve all your problems, but it will, for sure, increase your capacity to deal with your life situations in a better way than you have done in the past. It will supercharge your vitality, it will supercharge your brain to serve you. So I really would like that if you are someone that is struggling in any way, you're not doing good, you're just not feeling it, you're not feeling life, you feel like life's against you, really, please just do this, do it. I've been there many times in my life. I felt like I've been very alone. I felt like I've been struggling with my life situation. And this practice, I didn't have this practice, but what I had was little bits of other practices. So I had some yoga, I had meditation, I had breath work. And every time I dedicated myself to those things, I got better and I felt better. So what I'm sharing is a condensed version of very intelligent practices for well-being and to get you out of any kind of rut. So please, I can relate. If you've been there, I've been there many times. So please do this and feel better and be better and just be happier. I really hope that for you. One more thing. Okay, so this practice, the Vital Force method, I created with two things in mind. The first was the Tibetan monks with two things in mind, two very important things in mind. One was the teachings of Tibetan Buddhism, but not the religious side of things, just the secular meditation practices of cultivating a sense of inner freedom. So that's the first thing. I wanted to create a practice that was extremely effective and not bullshitty. So I used the teachings of Tibetan Buddhism and also, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna make this very short. I combined two things. I kept in mind two very important things, and they are the teachings of the ancient teachings of Tibetan Buddhism and the modern findings of the modern findings that verify these practices. So for years, for decades, actually for centuries, Buddhists have been saying that meditation, that cultivating the sense of inner freedom is working. But we had no way of verifying that what they were saying was true. But now we do. We do with functional MRI studies. They have found that top-level meditators from the Tibetan lineage have achieved incredible states of inner transformation. And you can see these online if you just go to YouTube and type in Tibetan Buddhism, or just monks fMRI, and just watch some videos about that, because it's incredible. It's really fucking incredible what these people have achieved in terms of inner freedom, in terms of happiness, from years of dedicated practice. And the thing that I found most interesting is that a lot of them, actually in fact all of them, say that this is not a special thing and it doesn't take years to cultivate. It takes about 30 days or about a few weeks to cultivate the sense of lasting inner freedom. Of course, you won't get to the extent that they have. I mean, they've spent their lifetime dedicated to these practices, these tools that cultivate a sense of inner freedom, but it is still relevant to you. It is still relevant to any person that is living in the modern world, because it doesn't take years of practice, it takes weeks of practice. So it's not a quick fix, but it is a worthwhile investment in yourself. And yeah, I want to share this with as many people as that are interested. So yeah, if you're feeling it, then please watch the the Vital Force Method guided. It's a 10-minute video, and it's a step-by-step, here's what you do when. So yeah, go there, watch it, and I hope you have a lot of benefit from it. And yeah, anything else I want to say? So what is a Vital Force? Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.